Hello students, after a long time I am here with a new topic, that is extension education process. This topic is very important from the point of view of your examination. So now let us see the extension education process in detail. Extension education process is a participatory process and involves 5 essential and interrelated steps. The steps of extension education process are given as below: collection of facts and analysis of situations, determination of objectives, teaching, evaluation and reconsideration. And now we'll see this extension education process in detail. An effective extension educational program involves 5 essential and interrelated steps. They are given as below. The first is collection of facts and analysis of situation, determination of objectives. Third one is teaching, evaluation and reconsideration. This is a cyclic process, or it is a continuous process, and whenever this question is asked during the examination that explain in detail the extension education process, you have to draw this diagrammatic representation of these 5 interrelated steps, and usually it carries 2 marks. Now we'll see the first step, that is collection of facts and analysis of situation in detail. So, the information about the people and their enterprises, their economical, social, cultural, technological, environmental conditions in which they live and work is collected. But initially, it's very important to develop a rapport, to build up a rapport with the people, or to develop a relationship with the people of the village. Because it's very helpful for an extension agent while conducting the survey. For collection of facts, he has to conduct the survey of a village along with the people, along with the villagers. And it's very important to have the proper relationship with the people so that he will able to collect the relevant, appropriate information from them. Next is, after data collection, it's important to correctly analyze the collected information or interpret the collected data or the responses along with the farmers. So, after interpretation of the data, he comes to know exactly what is the situation of the village. He analyzes what is the situation of the village in presence of the farmers. He identifies the major problem of the village, and he also comes to know what are the various resources that are available in the community so that he can make use of those resources in designing a better extension education program for that village. And once the major or the urgent problem is selected or identified, the next step is to find out the number of solutions for that problem. And those solutions are considered as the objectives of the extension education program. Now we'll see the next step, that is determination of objectives. Objectives are the expressions towards which our efforts are directed. So, as we have seen that once the major problem is selected, the solutions for that problem are determined or given in presence of the farmers, and those solutions are considered as the objectives of our extension education program. So, those solutions or the objectives should be realistic and selected by involving the local people. They should be realistic, means they should be attainable, they should be achievable at their existing or at their particular conditions. The objectives should be clearly stated, very simply stated, which can be understandable by the farmers. Then they should be very specific so that on completion of those objectives, it should bring the satisfaction in the community. They should bring the desirable changes in the behavior of the people, in the economic conditions of the people, and also the social conditions of the people should be uplifted once the objectives are fulfilled during the extension education program. Now we'll see The third step, that is teaching. Teaching involves choosing what should be taught and how the people should be taught. Here, the what should be taught means the choosing of proper content, proper subject or message, or any agricultural technology, any practice or research finding which may be of economical and practical importance to the farmers, and which will help the farmers to attain their predetermined objectives of the extension education program, so that it will be helpful for the fulfillment or making the farmer satisfied. Then next is to convey this technology, the selected research finding or the technology. It's important to select the proper way by which the technology can be disseminated amongst the farmers or the villagers. For that, the selection and combination of appropriate teaching methods or extension teaching methods is very important. That is, how the people should be taught, by what way, by what, making use of what extension teaching methods. Okay, so this combination of various extension teaching methods is very important at this stage, that is teaching. So different extension teaching methods like method demonstration, result demonstration, then farm or field tours or visits, then seminars, group discussions, scientist lectures or workshops, etc. can be conducted, so that making the combination of various extension teaching methods will be very helpful for efficiently transferring or disseminating the selected technology up to the farmers at the understandability level of the farmers, for reaching the understandability level of the farmers, so that they should adopt those technologies and we will able to attain our objectives of the extension education program. This is the fourth step, that is evaluation. Evaluation is determining the extent to which the objectives have been reached, or finding out at what extent we have been able to attain our objectives or not. So at this stage, it's important for an extension agent to conduct the resurvey in presence of the farmers or along with the farmers. So while conducting the resurvey of the village, he has to study the extent of success of the extension education program, that at what extent the program has been successful. He has to collect the evidences or proofs of the success of the program, that is, the evidence of the changed behavior of the people should be collected by the extension agent. Okay, that at what extent there are the changes in the behavior of the people, the changes seen in their economical conditions, in their social conditions, or in their behavioral conditions. Then next is, he also has to study the difficulties faced by the people. He has to enlist the deficiencies in the program, if any, and he has to frame an evaluation report in presence of the farmers, which will depict or which will show the success, the extent of success, as well as the deficiencies or the shortcomings in the program. Now we will see the fifth step, that is reconsideration. At this stage, the reviewing of evaluation results or evaluation reports made by extension agent in presence of villagers is considered, and from those reports the deficiencies enlisted or the problems enlisted are studied, and out of those problems the major problem is identified. Okay, and that particular identified problem, it becomes the starting point for the next phase of the extension education program, and that is how the next phase of extension education program begins once again. So this cycle keeps, or this process keeps upon continuing till the objectives of our extension programs are completely attained, or we can say the up to the fulfillments or the satisfaction of the farmers is achieved. Now, for better understanding of the extension education program, let us assume the example. Okay, so we have assumed this example of the village in Rahuri Tehsil of the district Ahmednagar in state Maharashtra. Now, the problem considered or the problem identified was that the low yield of soybean crop due to long dry spells, and also the harvest yield were affected due to the southwest monsoon rains or heavy rains were observed or were considered as a main problem. Then, for providing the solution over this problem, the objectives determined were selection of early maturing variety, that is Fulekimia of soybean, and use of the sprinkler irrigation to avoid the losses due to long dry spells. Then next is that teaching, that to communicate or convey those objectives, what methods the extension agent or we can use to disseminate these technologies up to the farmers or to teach the farmers. So the details of variety and advantages of use of sprinkler irrigation should be given to the people or should be communicated to the people. For that, the extension methods like university scientist lectures we can arrange. Then we can also arrange the group discussion, or we can also make the use of farm publications. Then we can make use of method demonstration for use of sprinkler, for explaining the use of sprinkler, or we can also make use of result demonstration to completely show the results of that particular technology. Okay, the advantages of that particular technology. Then any farm publications regarding subsidy scheme for sprinkler can also be distributed by the extension agent so that the farmers will adopt both the technologies. Now, as per our assumed example, at the evaluation stage, it was found that the large number of people had used or accepted or adopted the Fulekimia variety of soybean, but only 30% people accepted the use of sprinklers. So, why was this much gap between the adoption of the sprinkler? So, the people were found inefficient in making funds available for the purchase of sprinkler set due to the lack of knowledge about the scheme Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sinchan Yojana, and few people were also afraid for the lengthy procedures of the banks. Then our next step is reconsideration. So as per our example, we found that at this stage, the making people aware about Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sinchan Yojana completely and removing the fear regarding the banking procedures related to schemes from the minds of the people should be done, and this should be selected as the problem for the next phase of our extension education process or the program, and thus it shows that extension education process is a continuous process. So students, this was all about extension education process. Usually on this topic, the question asked is explain in detail the extension education process along with the diagrammatic representation. So you have to draw the process, that is the cycle of the extension education process, which we have seen in the slide number 3. It may carry 2 marks, and the remaining 6 marks out of 8 marks are usually for explanation. You have to explain all the steps in detail. It may carry 6 marks. So this topic is very important from the point of view of your examinations for B.Sc Agri students, for the first year students, first semester, and also from the point of view of your MSc Agri entrance examinations. So, thank you students, all the best.